Hello everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. I know it's been a long time. It's been a while, right? Welcome back to Nicole Knows Life. But I do have some changes. I'm gonna be going by my first name on the channel, Bria, mainly because I've been getting new subscribers. Also, I'm using my social to promote my business, which is real estate business. As a lot of you know, I became a realtor. I became a realtor over the summer, and I've really been kind of rebranding myself as such, not on purpose, but I still consider myself a content creator, and this is just one of the other qualities of business building that I, have acquired. So smoothly, I'm trying to kind of rebrand. It didn't happen on purpose at first, but if you follow me on Instagram, which here it is my handle, then you know that I changed my name. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips for the new year. I'm going to give you 5 home buying tips to buy a home in 2022. But before we jump into the video, give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps me. Thank you so much. I feel like you guys been probably wanting content from me, probably been wanting to see what's been going on, and we'll get into those in other videos. But I want to give you some tips because a lot of people have said that they were waiting for this year to buy a house, and it's time. It's time. So let's go ahead. The first tip, I think, first and foremost, a lot of people fell on this tip. Save for a down payment. Yes, save for your down payment. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, well, there's down payment programs. I can get into those. Yes and no. You have to qualify for the different down payment programs, which means not only do you have to qualify to get a mortgage, but you also have to qualify to get the assistance too. So the programs have their own qualifications that you have to meet. And there's different programs. There's not just first-time home buyer programs. There's all kind of down payment assistance programs. And it's important to save for your down payment so you don't have to worry about what may or may not be covered in the down payment, because you can get down payment assistance, but you still may need to come up with closing costs, and closing costs is usually the same as your down payment, or around the same amount as your down payment. So pretty much you need to factor that in when you are saving. You need to save for not only your down payment but also your closing costs, because that is the cash that you will need at the table in order to close on your house. And it's really, really important to at least have something of the sort. Again, some people want to go the route of using a program, which can be good, but sometimes some of them can also harm you too, so you don't want to dig yourself in a hole. So make sure you save for a down payment and closing costs. Number 2, we kind of can seamlessly transition into this one. Pay off your debt. Debt to income ratio matters when buying a home. It could either get you into the house, or it could keep you from qualifying from getting a house. And the perfect example I can give you is when I bought my house. I don't want to put my clients out there, so I'm going to give you an example of me. When I bought my house, I had 3 cars in my name. So all 3, even though I wasn't paying on one of them, 3 cars, all the debt that came with those cars really contributed to my debt to income ratio. So I needed to get one of those cars out of my name in order to move forward to get my loan. And not only does it affect you getting the loan, but it also affects those down payment programs that we were discussing, because they also take into account your debt to income ratio when you applying for a program too, to get down payment assistance or closing cost assistance. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely pay off your debt, which also leads me into the next tip. Don't get any new debt, meaning don't open any new credit. It is so important for buyers to understand, especially first time buyers, because if this is your first rodeo, there is a lot you may not know on how buying a house, what goes into it. And so it's really important for you to understand that you cannot open any new credit when you are trying to buy a home. And especially if you are under contract. Because once you go in under contract, you pretty much can't do anything with your credit. The best you can keep doing is keep making your monthly payments, but not opening up anything, not paying anything. Like you need to get through them 30 days under contract without opening any debt. So if you're going, furniture shopping because you're getting a new house, don't do it. Don't even buy a new car to go with your new house. Don't do that. Don't do it. It will mess you up. It will screw you over. And you will be so mad at yourself if you do it, because now you've just kind of ruined your chances of getting a home, and then you'd have to wait and blah 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 for your credit to change, all that good stuff. So don't do it. Do not do it. Don't open any new debt, and especially when you are under contract. Don't do it. This one is still on the financial end, because believe it or not, buying a house has a lot of finances. But one thing I like to tell people is have a budget. And a budget doesn't mean what you pre-qualify for. Meaning, if you pre-qualify for a $400,000 house, but you know that in the long run you really can't afford the monthly payment that comes with a $400,000 house, then you need to set your budget a little lower. So yes, you pre-qualify for $400K, but you decided you don't want to look in the $400K range. You want to look in $350,000 or even the $300,000 range. Then that's where you should look. Have a budget. Know your numbers. I always tell people that, know your numbers. And I say that because if you don't know your credit score number, if you don't know what you're gonna have to put down based off of the amount, the purchase price, if you don't know what you even pre-qualify for, you pretty much aren't ready to buy a house. Like, you don't know anything, because you can lose out on a house quicker than you can actually buy the house, because there's so many factors into it. So if your credit score drops, things could change. If your credit score isn't where it's supposed to be, so you can put down a certain amount of money that you were told, you can lose your house. Like, you can lose the contract if the numbers aren't right. So know your numbers. But going back to having a budget, it's really important to have a budget, because if you're going out shopping, you want to be comfortable with where you at. And no realtor wants to show their clients something they cannot afford. And it's not because, we want to feed into your glamorous life, but we want to make sure you're comfortable and happy, because there is a such thing as being house poor, which you can be, and nobody wants to lead you down that path. We just want to make sure that you're comfortable with what you want to pay, and that's what we'll show you. We'll show you the houses in your comfortable price range. So have a budget, and it'll make life so much easier because now you know what you got to put down, you know what your monthly payment is going to be, and you know what the purchase price of your house is. Then that goes in with getting pre-qualified, so you have an idea of what you can and cannot purchase. And the last tip, I think, is a more personal tip, but find a good realtor. Find a realtor who is going to really care about you, make this process as seamless as possible. It may not be easy, mainly because there are things out of a realtor's control, like, whatever happens on the loan side of things. We don't control that. We have no control over what happens during the process of you getting a loan. We can't control that. We can't control if your dream house has a leaky roof and the sellers won't, agree to fix it. Like, those are things we cannot control. But what we can control is negotiating for you, getting you the best based off of what we do know about the house, making sure we show up for you when the time comes and we fighting for what you want. Also, just making sure that we show you the houses that you are really, really interested, listening to you, knowing what you said you wanted. Because if I get clients and they tell me one thing, but I send them another, they're not going to trust me because they're not going to feel heard. So it's important to find a realtor who's going to make you feel heard and make you feel like you matter, because there's nothing more fulfilling, and I say this on a personal level, there was nothing more fulfilling than making clients happy for me getting into a home. And mainly because I'm still like on a high for buying my house, and which is what drove me to becoming a realtor. Being able to see somebody as excited as I was, like I was super excited. Like it's been a year since I bought my house and I'm still like, wow, I'm a homeowner. And so even though I was a first time buyer, so even buying, helping, you know, second or third time buyers, I still want them to feel like a first time home buyer, like they just bought their first house, like feeling happy and excited. So find a realtor who can do that for you, because there are some realtors who have years of experience, but they're not a people person. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can find a realtor and you can say, oh, I want to go with a more experienced realtor because they know what they're doing. But do they? Yes, experience does matter. I'm not saying that, but also take into account the type of realtor you're getting, because you can't find quality everywhere. You can find quantity, but you can't find quality. A bonus tip would be make sure you're open to whatever your realtor shows you. Because you could say, oh, I want a 2,000 square foot home. And your realtor shows you a house that they know you just love based off of everything you told them, but it's 1,700 square feet. If the layout is right, don't ask, oh, is this 2,000 square foot? And then say no to it because it's not 2,000 square foot. Because if the layout is right, you might like it. So be open. Also, when you are looking at houses, be open to the aesthetic that you see, because it doesn't have to be their aesthetic that wins you over. Keep in mind what you can do. You can change paint, you can change carpet, you can change tile, you can change cabinets, you can change a lot of the aesthetic. And it kind of sucks to see that people lose out on good houses when they can't get over the color of paint. I painted this wall because it was white. This whole room, my whole office was white. And I painted this wall because it's my favorite color, it's my aesthetic. And so if I sell this house, obviously somebody may not like it, but they can change it. So just keep that in mind. That's just a bonus tip, is just be open-minded about some more of the physical things that you can change. Because obviously you can't change location, you can't change the build of the house, but you can do some changes. So that's all I got for you, at least for now. This is just 5 simple little tips. They're not everything, but they're definitely important ones when going out there to buy a house. So I'm so happy to give you that little tidbit and be back on camera, be back on YouTube and talking to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope these tips were super, super helpful. If you do want to work with me, I have my business email in the description box, and give this video a thumbs up for me. And of course, if you are new, or if you're not new, if you're returning, whatever, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button for me, okay? Join the crew. I don't have a name for my crew, but join me, join my journey. Just watch the journey, learn tips, see my life. Let's have some fun. I'll see you guys next time.